Okay, so now you've seen what the X factor method is, but we're going to take it one step further to factor fully, and we're going to pull out the GCF of the terms before factoring a trinomial. So, looking at this expression, 3x squared plus 9x plus 6, can you use the X factor method to factor this trinomial? And because I have this coefficient right here of 3, the leading coefficient is not 1 but a 3, I can't just factor as I normally would with X factor because this 3 affects what these would multiply to. But first, I can use the X factor once I do one other step. So please get this down. You can factor this by pulling out the GCF first and then using X factor. So it's just one extra step that you have to do before getting started with the X factor method. So let's try it. Now the GCF, I see I have a 3, a 9, and a 6. Well, I know the GCF of 3, 9, and 6 is 3, and then I look at the lowest variable degree, but I see that 6 does not have a variable, only 3x squared and 9x do, so I can't pull out an x. So my GCF is 3. So now I'm going to factor out that 3 by dividing each term by 3. So 3x squared divided by 3 is x squared. 9x divided by 3 is 3x. And then 6 divided by 3 is 2. So now if I look at this trinomial that I have, I can definitely use X factor to simplify this even more. So I'm going to draw my x. I'm going to put my product of 2 and my sum of 3 and list the factors of 2. 1 and 2, and those do add up to 3. So my factors are 1 and 2, and I'm going to write my final answer as x plus 1, x plus 2 in binomials, and I can't forget to take this 3 and put it on the outside here. So when we do our check and we redistribute, we should see that we get our original trinomial. So let's FOIL first. We have our 3x squared, outside 2x, inside 1x, last 2. 3 times x squared, combine our like terms, plus 3x plus 2. And then if I distribute that 3 back, I'm going to get 3x squared plus 9x plus 6. And that definitely matches our very first trinomial that we were given. So that checks out and we did it correctly. So I need you to get down these steps for factoring fully. First you find the GCF of the expression. Then you factor out the GCF by dividing each term by the GCF. Use the X factor method to find the other factors once you have that simplified trinomial. And then you put the GCF in front of the 2 binomials that you found from X factor, like you saw in the last example. So let's just go over one more example together before I let you do your hot questions. So first step is to find my GCF. Well, I have a 2, a 12, and an 18. So I think that my GCF is going to have a 2 as the coefficient. I'm going to label this GCF. And then I see that all of them have a variable, and the lowest degree of the variable is 1. We have the last term is 18x, x to the first, so 2x is going to be my GCF. So I'm going to divide each of these by 2x. 2x cubed divided by 2x is going to be x squared. 12x squared divided by 2x is going to be 6x. And then 18x divided by 2x is going to be 9. And then I put my GCF out here, 2x. Okay, so X factor, let's do it. We have our product and our sum. The factors of 9 are 1 and 9 and 3 and 3. 3 and 3 add up to 6, so I know my factors are going to be 3 and 3. So I'm going to rewrite this with my two factors, and my GCF on the outside of all the terms. And this is my final answer. 2x times quantity x plus 3 times quantity x plus 3. That is my final fully simplified answer. But of course, let's check it out to make sure we did it correctly. So I'm going to FOIL first, and I have x times x in my first terms, x squared. Outside terms, x times 3 is 3x. Inside terms, 3 times x is also 3x. And my last terms, 3 times 3 is 9. I'm going to combine my terms, 3x and 3x plus 6x plus 9, and let's just redistribute that 2x. So 2x times x squared is 2x cubed. 2x times 6x is 12x squared. And then 2x times 9 is 18x. And this definitely does check out because as we can see, this trinomial matches our original trinomial. Your hot question is to use the x factor method to factor 4x squared plus 16x plus 8. So using the extra stuff we've learned of pulling out the GCF, find out what your fully simplified answer would be here to fully factor it, and then enter your answer as the GCF on the outside and two binomials on the inside. Good luck.